Jason's hitting a few of the spots in the front of the cab that we couldn't get before since it was on the bed. So he's trying to do some of the underneath spots. I'm going to go back and do some grinding on those next. Any of the welds that are sticking out where the aluminum goes. Hey, real quick, just wanted to let you know what I'm doing here. Basically, I'm sanding all the top surfaces and the side surfaces where there's welds, because basically we're going to do aluminum skin on the top here and on the sides, and I need these surfaces to be nice and smooth. So I'm just kind of, if there's any high spots with any of the welds, is kind of going around using a 40 grit sanding grit pad in order to knock those down, and that's pretty much it. So let me get back to it. Next on the to-do list, I'm basically just taking some alcohol here, spraying the frame to clean off any kind of leftover grease, road debris. I did power wash it first thing this morning before I got here, but there is obviously snow and salt on the road, so just trying to go through, clean up the last of it before we put our primer on. So once again, just using a alcohol. You can also use like a prep sol. Basically, you want to use something that's not going to leave a film behind. Like you wouldn't want to use like a WD-40. So this works pretty well. Spray bottle works really well, and then just kind of come back along and then just get your surfaces all cleaned up so that your primer will adhere better. And that's it. All right, let me get back to it. And you want to do this fairly quickly because the alcohol does dry very fast. Okay, so next up, I'm going to take the frame, I'm going to use a torch and basically heat it all up to get the moisture and any kind of oil and get it warmed up, ready for some paint. So let's go ahead and get the torch fired up. All right. Oh, hey, you guys, I think you guys snuck up on me and kind of got a little shocked or scared there. How do you like my hat? Yeah, today I'm wearing the ears. Obviously, Teresa made this, so I'm making sure she gets the credit for it. She's working today, so I'm out here in the, still see the snow. Let me do a quick walk around. Today I'm actually doing some painting, and because I drove it home, I have to clean it again. I'm using the prep saw, so let me go ahead and show you some of those things. What I'm doing is, this is the primer on this side, and I started painting the other side. And when I'll just show you some of the things that I'm using today. So since it got a little dirty on the way home, so I'm using the prep saw, which I just, pick up at an automotive store in order to wipe it down. Prep saw is typically used when before you're about to paint a vehicle. You would wipe it down. The prep saw takes all the grease and stuff off. So that's just what I'm using. So just paint wise, keeping it really simple, hitting it with any of the Rust-Oleum converter. So if there's spots on any of the welds, I'm just kind of going back around and hitting all those weld spots really well with the the rust converter, just to make sure everything's hit. And then I'm going back over the whole frame and hitting it with just the gloss black, which I really like. It sprays really nice out of that can. And then also, you can see you have the spray bottle. Now the spray bottle is really nice. If you're doing any kind of fluids, and you can put it in a spray bottle. If you have any Windex bottles or bottles sitting around, it's best to save them. But it just minimizes potential time. You can just grab a bottle, you either spray it in your rag, and these are just old recycled t-shirts that I'm repurposing. So I'll spray it either on the rag or on the body, and then I can wipe it. And what's so nice with this process for me is I'm actually getting really close with each part of the frame to determine I really want to get another coating of actual paint onto the frame over the primer. And then the contractor bucket, I just have that out. It's really nice when you have a contractor bucket because it's almost like having a little toolbox. Okay, so a couple things while I'm wiping this. It does allow me to see, like right in this part of the 5-inch C channel, I have some areas that don't really have good primer coverage. They're not bad, but I'm going to go ahead and just re-hit those with the Rust-Oleum rust converter. Kind of cleaning. Once I get an area cleaned, I'll go back and basically hit all my weld spots with the rust converter to make sure that that's pretty well hit. And then I actually sometimes will, once those are dry, I might come back and hit those in with the paint before I actually start doing all my paint. What are you doing?
What do you mean? I painted the truck.
Jeez.
You told me you wanted it done. I
Yeah,
got it done.
I can't believe
it's
it.
all finished.
Wow, you got that done in no time. That's
I
like
know.
record time.
I know. What can I say?
Times 4,
That's right.
maybe times 5.
Yeah, time lapsing it.
Yeah, let's
probably.
all right.
Yeah, good.
So that's it. Snow avalanche. You're calling it a day?
Calling it a day.
Well, I think we still
That's
need
a wrap.
we got to paint the compartment.
Well, we can do that tomorrow.
All right. Okay, so we got the whole frame spray painted. Now I'm basically just painting. I'm rolling on paint to this lower compartment. I'm doing a gray. I want to minimize this as an open compartment. It's not a sealed area, so it's very prone that it could get moisture or elements. So I want to minimize long-term deterioration of rust and things like that. I'm using the Pore 15 rust preventative. Now this is really cool. This can go directly onto bare metal surfaces that are rusted. Pretty amazing stuff. So you can paint it directly on the rust. And I'm using a gray that does not have to look pretty. It just needs to be practical. So I'm basically rolling it on using the disposable paint tray along with a little sponge brush. The lower sheet metal is not welded all the way around, so it's open. So water, since this is not water tight, water that gets in here can actually get out. This compartment will be used primarily for potentially storing solar panels when we're traveling or other large items. It's basically about 46 inches long and a little over 33 inches wide. So it's a great space to store the solar panels when we're traveling. One other thing I didn't mention, but the gray is also being a little bit brighter. It will allow us to see things all the way in the back of the compartment. So that's also why I wanted to do a little bit lighter color in here. And the gray is just what I happen to have, which is perfect. Now this product is not inexpensive. I'll put the links below in the description. Well, as you can see, it's snowing. And that's why I was actually working so hard yesterday, even though it was cold, to get everything completely done. I got the box in the back painted gray at the very end of the evening. So you saw the last photos of that, which I showed you, and then also the process. So I appreciate you guys taking the time to check this video out. Pretty straightforward stuff. And the next video will actually cover the electrical. We'll be doing the tail lights, getting the marker lights all wired in. So that's going to be pretty straightforward. So I really appreciate you guys following along with this journey and our joy to share with you. So if you've enjoyed this video and the other videos, take the time to subscribe, like, comment, and we'll see you on the next one. All right. See you soon.